I be stroking. That's what I be doing. So we were listening to a classic song.
Clarence Carter's Stroking.
On the way home. I had forgotten about that song for the longest time.
It's a great song. You talked about it before on the show way back in the day.
Have I?
Yeah, but I don't think we went into too much detail. It was one of those like funny songs we've heard on the box or whatever.
I wonder when it was written.
I'm going to believe like 90. It sounds
90s?
Like I know. It sounds like something that would come out earlier than that. But if you listen like we did on the way home, we paid attention to some of the subtle detail, i.e. the excellent mix.
Oh, it's a wonderfully recorded
But the drum
song.
machine's terrible. Like it's all just it's 86. Okay, so
1986.
That makes more sense.
I was a young man.
I was 4 years old.
I was just knocking on Five's door. I remember hearing it though. I feel like even though it was released in 86, I feel like there was a Clarence Carter resurgence.
Yeah, I think maybe that song wasn't too popular when it came out, but I think around like when did Gangsta Lean come out? Because OMD did How Bizarre. What was it? In that Gangsta Lean.
Yeah.
This one's for my homies.
I don't know when that one came out.
That song and Clarence Carter's Stroking are fucking, they're tea and lemonade to me.
Right. So they just come together and make an Arnold Palmer.
They come together and make an Arnold Palmer of beautiful music.
I want to say it was around the time I used to listen to the... You hear that scream?
Mm-hmm.
Are we in a fucking haunted house? I just heard a scream.
I heard that too. Might be on the television in the other room.
Oh, maybe. Oh, well. We're going to roll with it. I remember used to listen to the KJ103 Hot 8 at 8.
Oh, yeah.
And I would listen a little before and a little after. I've always been a bath boy, and I used to take baths when I was a kid, and we had a little shower radio, and I would always listen to the KJ103 Hot 8 at 8 every night.
Just the words Hot 8 at 8 is so nostalgic.
Like 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, Hot 8 at 8.
Yeah. So I remember hearing that song either right before or right after. It wasn't one of the Hot 8.
Mm-hmm.
But Strokin' was so important to me as a kid.
Yeah?
Because I heard it before I knew what Strokin' really was. I was young.
Well, the song's about having sex, but stroking implies masturbation. And yeah, I didn't know what stroking was. I mean, when I heard it, so DRS was the hip-hop group. Song Gangsta Lean came out in 1993, and that's probably about 9.
That's about right, yeah.
9 when I heard Stroking and Gangsta Lean. So at 9, I didn't know what jerking off was. I didn't really even know what sex. I don't know what sex is.
No, way before.
But I knew that it was sexual in nature,
right?
Because the video that I saw scrambled on the box had this little character, like a claymation character that was kind of dancing around doing sexy moves.
Yeah,
like so. There's something about this.
Well,
song.
and your primitive brain kind of puts 2 and 2 together before you even know why.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Sure. So
we were listening to Strokin' on the way home from work today, on the way to the podcast today, and man, yeah, it sounds like shit.
Yeah, I can't get over how terribly it's mixed.
Yeah, it sounds like
so bad.
It sounds like somebody went to a karaoke kiosk in the mall
and made it.
Yeah.
Oh, remember those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like booths you can get in and sing songs?
I think there was one at Crossroads Mall called Limelight.
There was. And inside of that, I think it's there. There's if you go on YouTube, local band Minutes Too Far did a Boyz II Men Into the Road. Nice. In it. Yeah.
So there's some things about Strokin' though I want to kind of get to.
Sure.
First of all, just the term stroking when he's clearly talking about having sex,
right?
But he's calling it stroking.
Yeah, I guess like the strokes of his like his
his
humps,
thrusting.
His thrusting.
Yeah, his Clarence Carter method of insertion.
What the Clarence Carter method of fucking? It's called stroking.
Yeah, you got to stroke it to the east
and to the west.
Does that mean like whittle your weenie around?
I think it's the way you move it. Like,
is it the angle of the dangle?
Yeah, the angle of the dangle.
Okay.
The motion of the ocean, if you will.
But there's a line in it that really sticks out, and he's talking about making love to his wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, she says, stroke it, Clarence Carter. Don't stroke it so fast. If my stuff ain't tight enough, you can stick it up my... Ooh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's pretty risque for the radio in 1986 or 1994, 93, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean... Then there's the part where he simulates his girlfriend or his wife having an orgasm with...
I believe it's Mrs. Carter.
A Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter. Ooh, shit, Clarence Carter. See, that wasn't on the radio, right?
But that's when you know you're getting the job done.
True. I mean,
if someone was like, Josh Montgomery, Josh Montgomery, Josh Montgomery, woo, like that,
yeah, like,
you
damn.
know.
Yeah, you know. You're stroking it right.
You're stroking.
That's when you know you're stroking.
You got your stroke down.
My thing with the song is, I think I totally forgot, was that it's not really sung. The chorus is sung, but the verse is spoken word.
He's just talking over a shitty drum beat.
A shitty drum beat about the minutia, really. Fucking, like, just basics. Like, you ever make love before breakfast? Of course. It's called morning sex. Everyone's done it.
Who hasn't, you nerd?
You ever made love after the late show? Yes, that's called midnight sex before you go to bed. Everyone's done it.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this.
What about this one? Mm-hmm. Have you ever made love on a couch?
Of course.
Yeah, you virgin. Of course. Probably the first time I did.
I lost my virginity on a couch.
I lost mine on an air mattress.
Dude, what's worse, a couch or an air mattress?
An air mattress is way worse.
Yeah. Was it a freshly inflated, or was it the next morning deflating air mattress?
Actually, it wasn't an air mattress. So I think we've talked about this on the show. I didn't lose my virginity in my head proper until I was like 21.
I like the pun there in your head.
22.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, here's my speaking of analogies, here's another one. I might have dipped my toe in the river when I was 17.
You dipped your toe in the river,
18.
You didn't go swimming.
Right. If you dip your toe in the river, does that mean you went swimming?
No, but you did enter the river.
I did, but I was a habitual toe dipper.
Yeah.
But I never jumped in. I never cannonballed.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you can always, like, you spend a lot of your youth driving to the river, you know? Spend time on the bank.
On the bank
with maybe a cold Dr. Pepper in hand, you know? And then this analogy. And then occasionally you get to the point where you'll dip the toe in. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the 90s, but there's a lot of heavy making out where you grind, do a lot of above the jeans humping.
Oh, and you know what? That was the worst.
Oh yeah,
I did a lot of bumping and grinding, if you will.
Yeah, a lot of chafing.
That's the thing. The belly of the penis would just be raw.
You didn't want to stop.
You didn't want to stop. You're like a wolf that was caught in a trap, and you're just chewing your own leg off.
Like, just wait. It's worth it. It's worth it.
So, the first time I went toe dipping, I was on a futon.
Okay.
The second time I went toe dipping.
Can I ask about the quality? There's different levels of quality to futons.
It was a low-end futon.
So it was a very thin mattress with the metal rails?
Yes, metal, the whalebone kind of rails. Okay. There was no embellishments or fanciness to the armrest.
Just metal.
Metal, curved, kind of U-shaped.
So you can feel, you're going to feel the rails through the mattress?
Yes, totally. The second time I toe dipped was a few years later, and it was on a waterbed. Have you ever toe dipped on a waterbed?
Oh, I toe dipped on a waterbed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a waterbed. Felt real classy. And it wasn't my waterbed.
Oh, a friend or a stranger?
It was
her waterbed.
It was an old friend's waterbed, and I could almost put money on that old friend's listening to this. So hey, thanks.
Nice.
He knew. I didn't like go rogue toe dipping.
Rogue toe dipping on a waterbed.
No. So yeah, I'm batting 0 for 2 here on the quality of where I'm making love or not making love.
So just to be clear here for the analogy, you tipped it in and didn't.
Yeah.
Well, just serious, just an in and out.
Not even a full in, just like
you're peeking your head through the door. Hello.
Yeah.
Anybody home?
Howdy, neighbor.
Little howdy neighbor. Like, oh, I guess I won't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a clever analogy, but I'm at my wit's end right now.
Wow.
So we're going to get right to the show.
Okay.
But first, some quick announcements.
Yay.
Boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. There you will find links to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as a golden donate button. If you've ever dipped a toe, dip a toe into us. Dip that green toe.
That's a good analogy.
Right into our waiting orifice.
See, that sounds gross.
My wallet.
It sounds like an infected toe. You're going to toe fuck somebody with an infected toe.
Dip your toe into our wallets.
Please. Boys is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify. On Spotify, you got to search all one word, Boys Podcast, lowercase. All of our episodes are there, if that's where you like to listen to things. So give us a listen there. Leave a review on iTunes, helps us rise up the ranks. Subscribe everywhere you can subscribe to things. I don't know. There's so many places you can subscribe to. Subscribe everywhere. You get notified when we update.
Subscribe to all or subscribe to one. It's your choice. But either way, just subscribe.
Just subscribe, baby.
Follow us. You can also email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Send us some feedback. You know, last week we asked a question, a very serious question. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later.
Sure.
Might have been the most serious question, the most thought-provoking question we've ever asked on the show.
It's pretty deep. It was a deep question.
Yeah.
So.
Send us some feedback, a question, a comment, concern, criticism. Throw your physical address in the bottom of that email. We'll send you out some free stickers. And thank you to those who have emailed us, and thank you to all who have donated, etc., etc.
Thanks to the sponsors, Anthem, anthembrewing.com. Makers of delicious beers. They have the tap room open all summer long. The big door open up. You can be outside if you want to be outside. Have a nice, delicious, crisp beer on draft. Go to anthembrewing.com. Fat Bison, fatbison.com. That boy can't stop making signs.
He's doing the Lord's work.
He is. I've seen he's been making a lot of camp signs, like for people's either actual campgrounds or their lake houses and stuff. So if you have a lake house, you want a sign like the Johnson's Cabin or the Catfish Cove or the blah, blah, blah. He'll make it for you.
I'm thinking about getting a sign made. I've recently hired Matt for some work, but I'd like to I have a new idea floating around. I want to get a sign that's so my bed in my bedroom is kind of weird. Like most people put the head of their bed against the wall.
You want a sign over it that says this is where the magic happens?
No.
The workout room?
No, I just wanted to say we be stroking in like an old English font.
With a pair of sunglasses? All right. I don't know.
Okay. Was Clarence Carter blind?
I'm just picturing Clarence Carter wearing a pair of Wayfarer sunglasses.
And like a white suit?
Yeah, but
playing a Stratocaster?
But the collar's loosened, with the tie loosened a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweaty?
Very sweaty.
There's like a drummer, a bass player, maybe a keyboard player playing like a super 80s.
And like a smoky bar.
Yeah. We're going to have to look up some Clarence Carter clips after this.
Classic triple C's. Champion Vintage OKC. Check that out on Instagram. Got some new stock coming in.
Lastly, thank you for the donations, the feedback, the most important thing, telling of a friend. It's how this podcast gets around. We don't spend money on advertising. Spending all our money on stroking. Don't have any left over. So if you like the show, you listen week after week, tell a friend, share a link, send a DM. Doesn't have to be public. Whisper into a stranger's ear. Hey, listen to these guys. Boys Podcast, check it out. They got it going on. And without further ado, on with the show. All right, we're here. It's episode 162.
162. 20 more and you hit that magic number.
162. Good point. Good point. Maybe well, no, by then, be too late. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We have a little behind the scenes planning going on right now. Yeah. We're teasing it a little bit. Some of you might know what's going on. A lot of you are in the dark, but keep your eyes and ears on Boys Podcast. You'll be the first to know. We got something really special coming up. Think some of you are going to enjoy it. We think some of you are going to hate it. Hopefully more of you enjoy it than hate it, but we'll get to that soon. But I want to start off the show with something.
Sure.
We are fresh off going to a show together.
We went to an extravaganza?
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to see Real Big Fish and the Aquabats at the Tower Theater. Yes. We bought the tickets months ago.
Yeah, way in advance.
Now, I'm going to go on the record here and say I'm not a huge ska fan in general.
Right.
But I likes what I like, and I love the Aquabats.
Well, you even back in the day, you weren't... you liked you liked what you like. You liked the Aquabats, you liked Real Big Fish, you like, I guess Against All Authority would be considered kind of ska. You liked certain ska.
Yeah.
Not all, just some.
The Aquabats have always kind of held a special place in my heart. because they're silly, and I like comedy rock. I always have.
Your comedy rock guy.
I do. I like a funny song. I like a band that doesn't take themselves too seriously. Kind of like a Blink-182.
Sure.
Or, No Effects.
Sure.
Or
Real Big Fish even.
Real Big Fish. Tenacious D. Wheeler. Now Look at Me Now. Wheeler Walker Jr. Love it. Love it. There's a lot of others that I love. And I've always kind of loved the Aquabats. I heard them probably in the late 90s.
Where did you first hear them? Was it was there a sampler they were on, or were you like working at Hot Topic or something?
I think I was working at Hot Topic, and we had a couple of ska-aholics that worked there, and it was was it second wave or third wave ska?
Third wave ska.
It was around the time that the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones had that hit.
Oh, Impression That I Get changed the game. I think Impression That I Get is what brought ska back into the mainstream.
I would say it was like the ska introduction to Sell Out by Real Big Fish.
Yes.
The Aquabats were never like widely successful.
No,
they've always been kind of underground.
Their thing was what was that? I guess their biggest hit was God damn it, they didn't close with it. Second to last song.
Super Rad.
That was probably their.
Yeah, but that's not like Real Big Fish had Sell Out. Like that was their big hit, right?
Yeah.
And then followed up by Beer. Probably another big hit.
Yeah, and one I brought up too, you never remember or didn't really remember too much. It was non-ska, it was all punk, and it was called Where Have You Been? If you heard it, you'd heard it. It was like on some movie soundtracks and shit. But that was like, I think, when the wave was cresting for ska.
Okay.
Like Less Than Jake.
Right.
Less Than Jake won a Grammy on one of their records. Like
really?
That's when it was getting bigger, like in 2002, I think maybe.
Yeah.
So ska had like a big resurgence. It's coming back, and then it died out, and now it's coming back up again with like the Interrupters and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So we bought tickets. The show date came, and we went. We came home after work and spiced up. Spiced up, is that it?
Spruced up.
Spruced up.
Got ready.
That's
for the
what
night.
I'm looking for. We spruced up.
I have a pair of plaid pants that I bought recently because I've been seeing all these. When you're scrolling through your Instagram while you're taking a shit, and there's like ads that just pop up. And there's this company called Elwood Clothing, and they always have these like
they sell a lot of joggers.
Good looking dudes, but they're wearing like these plaid pants that like ska pants.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I really want a pair of those.
Did you get them?
Got me a pair of plaid pants. They fit nice. I wore them once, and everyone thought I was wearing a pair of pajama bottoms.
Right.
But I got home that night, and I was getting ready. Got out of the shower. I'm like, all right. I pulled them out like a scene in X-Men or something where they pull out their uniform. Like, I'm gonna put it on.
They're dusting off the old uniform.
And I'm looking at those pants. I'm like, I can't do it. I was gonna wear plaid pants, a shirt, a tie, like do the whole thing. And I'm glad I didn't, because we get to the venue, and man, there was a lot of cosplay. Ska'splay.
There was a lot of Ska'splay. We ran into some friends there. We saw Jake Bone, our friend Jake Bone. We saw Joey Powell.
Joey P.
I saw... So if our friend Jake is my brother-in-law, does that make his brother anything to me?
No, I don't think so.
So it ends with the brother-in-law.
It ends with the brother-in-law. That's it. You get one. But I guess in some way, I mean, we've been friends for a while.
I saw him and his wife, Gwen, and their kids, which I'm going to get to that in a second. But I felt bad because I wanted to go over and say hi and like catch up.
Sure.
But like I saw them right before Aquabats started playing. And when it's Aquabats time, it's Aquabats time.
Yeah.
And I got to keep my attention laser focused.
Because it's a show. Like you can't take your eye off of it.
Yeah. And speaking of, so I'd seen the Aquabats one other time. Yeah. I saw them with our buddy Colin right when I moved to Austin, and like, God, I don't even remember the years, 2004, 2005, 2006, right. Somewhere in there.
What venue was it at?
Damn, I can't even remember. It was some shithole venue.
So was it smaller?
Very small. Okay. It'll come back to me in a minute, maybe, but tiny venue.
Emos, Mohawk?
No. I don't remember.
Red Eye Fly?
No. Tiny place in a strip mall.
Oh, okay.
Like a shithole. Okay. And it was funny because at the time, which was like 13 years ago, Colin and I were probably the oldest people there.
Oh, yeah.
But at the show you and I went to, there were people way older than us. Like, I felt like we were the median age.
Yeah, I would say like 35 was probably the median age. But it was like 40, mid to late 40s with kids, I mean, and they were like children, like toddlers, babies.
They were maybe not infants, but they were like.
Oh, I saw a couple like maybe 2-year-olds with like things.
That's
on.
right. Yeah.
With what do you call those? Noise canceling headphone things on.
What was fun though is the Aquabats being kind of a silly band.
Sure.
They dress up. If you don't know about them, I mean, I'm sure most people that are listening to this know something about them. Maybe. They dress up like superheroes. They all have like superhero names. All their songs are about fighting monsters. They fight monsters while they play.
It's not about that. It's about eating pizza or burgers or something.
They don't cuss.
Nope.
And I read recently in the Travis Barker autobiography, Can I Say, by Travis Barker.
They're Mormon.
That they're all Mormons.
Yeah.
And like they don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't, they don't, what am I trying to say? Fornicate?
No, their vices are food.
Yeah, and we can tell.
Oh, can you?
3 of the 5?
Pretty large guys.
Come on.
I mean,
really stretching the old spandex.
The drummer's name is Ricky Fitness. I think they call him that because he's the skinniest one.
He looked pretty ripped.
Yeah.
And furthermore, so the little one around the house, I really wish I would have taken her to this show. I didn't realize it was going to be that family friendly because the last time I saw them, granted it was 12 years ago.
Sure.
There were no kids there.
Well, no, because they didn't have the show. Like I think.
Well, nobody had kids.
That's true. I think the Aquabats Super Show. What Aquabats did was pretty fucking genius. You're a fun ska band that has like this thing, and
almost got a little bit new wave.
Yeah.
They have some horns and stuff. They used to have more horn players, but they've kind of transferred into this like new
keys,
wave ska.
Synthy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then, the singer goes off and creates Yo Gabba Gabba and then does that for a while. And then I guess you just realize our band is pretty much that.
Right.
Let's just make a show. So they made this. It kind of reminded me a lot of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show where you had like Captain Lou as Mario and they did this like live action thing in the beginning and then they introduced cartoons.
And I love the way they introduced the cartoon. It's always some weird random thing like, oh look, a cartoon. It might be on a TV in the background or they look through some binoculars and the cartoon is showing.
Yeah, and that's what they did. It's really cool.
So since the show, me and the little one, I showed her an episode of it and truth be told, it's only because I wanted to watch it. Well, she loved it.
Yeah.
And dude, every day she's like, can you put on the Aquabats? Every day. We've watched every episode multiple times at this point. I think there's 2 seasons, maybe 3. The show is made really well. They got that Gabba Gabba money. You can tell, like, it's low budget, but like high low budget.
It's low budget with the purpose. It's meant to look low budget. That's
right.
The joke is these things are made terribly.
But it works. Like it almost kind of has like an old Godzilla quality to it or like, the old Power Rangers or something.
Yeah, like definitely like a public access kind of a vibe.
But not in that Tim and Eric sort of way. Like it's polished. It's just not, there's not a lot of CGI.
Right.
There's a little bit, but it's not like fucking Avengers or anything.
It's like mostly practical effects. Yeah.
So I had a great time at the show though. Man, one takeaway I had from the Aquabats show, their performance in particular is, I think we talked about this at the show. I don't know if Jake Bone might have mentioned this or we thought this up, but it's an amalgam of all of our thoughts. It totally made me forget about everything fucked up that's going on in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
No matter what your stance is on anything. I just had a good time watching this band and their visuals and their props. Like I didn't think about anything, I didn't even think about like, am I standing cool? Am I looking cool? Like I was just like, man, this is fun.
Yeah.
And I had such a blast. And the way they brought the kids into the show.
Oh yeah, that was
like
sweet.
they had kids come up on stage like several songs.
Yeah. Well, the one they did Pizza Day in the Bridge of Pizza Day, they had pizza floated like inflatables, used in the pool.
Yeah, like what all the cool kids have these days, like a huge inflatable slice of pizza.
Yeah. That
you'd like be drinking a PBR on.
And they crowd surf raced these kids on it.
Yeah. So the singer, MC Bat Commander, the pizza slices were being bounced around like beach balls in the audience while they were singing Pizza Day. And then in the bridge of Pizza Day, he was like, bring me my slices. He was like, and he was talking very much like a knight.
Yeah, like royal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they brought the slices to the front. And then, he called up 2 children from the audience who both were adorable. They were dressed in the Aquabats costumes.
Yeah, they had the little helmets and everything.
Yeah. And it was a girl on one side and a boy on the other. They hoisted them up on these slices of pizza. And he was like, when I say go, What did he say exactly?
Oh shit, I can't remember. He was like, blah blah blah. Was like, and the winner will receive a free water, like a bottle of water.
So yeah, it seemed kind of dangerous though. Like I know, the crowd was a family friendly crowd, and like nobody was gonna let these kids get hurt.
Yeah,
but these kids were clinging for their lives, like a couple of sugar gliders.
Oh, the boy was like, eh.
Yeah.
The girl was having a blast.
Yeah, so the kids raced, from the pit down front all the way to the back balcony and then all the way back.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, did you have like a lump in your throat the whole time?
Oh.
Like, I hope one of these kids doesn't crack their egg.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, it was terrible.
100%.
But it was really cute. Nobody got hurt. Then they called the kids up at the end of the set for Pool Party, their song Pool Party. And it was just completely adorable.
Kids just bouncing around on stage, having a blast.
Well, I thought about it. The Aquabats have been a band for a long time. Been through some members, been through some changes. They did it right because since they wear like these mask helmet things and like they all dress the same in these like kind of half superhero, half wetsuit attire.
Yeah.
You know, if they get older, they get a little more soft, they get a little more round. Nobody cares because that's like their bit. Like they kept talking about food and how much they love food, and it's like, well, yeah, you're all like
chubby
dad bods.
Very dad bod.
However, so I don't want to be super negative. So after the Aquabats played, Real Big Fish came out and they were headlining. They sounded great, but there was a stark contrast of the mood that I got from Real Big Fish over the Aquabats.
Yeah.
Would you care to explain?
Well, there's only one original member of Real Big Fish left, and not that matters. I mean, bands change all the time. There's so many bands that, I mean, Chris Rose, the only original member of Ataris, you know, the list can go on and on and on. But, like, even the lighting was different.
Right.
It came out, and yeah, they sounded great. The mix was great. But it just felt a little, not forced.
Phoned in,
a little labored.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a different vibe. Like, whereas the Aquabat set, I felt like, yeah, good and positive about the world. Everything outside of that venue was just shut off.
Well, and both bands sounded great.
Right.
Like the singer-guitarist of Real Big Fish is a killer guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
Like their mix was good. They sounded good. It just seemed like they weren't super excited. Or maybe I was just so into the Aquabats that they kind of paled in comparison.
It was also 11 o'clock at night. We were very much feeling very dadded out.
The dad fatigue really kicked in.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't have to work the next day. I was game to stay.
Yeah.
But I think about 4 or 5 songs in, we kind of started doing that, like, that without words, like,
yeah, like, I'm cool if you're cool.
You want to go?
I'm gonna.
You want to go? Well, if you want to go, I'll go. You want to go? I'll go.
It's also like you said, like, it was the first time I've been to a show and not drank in a very long time. So, like, being sober at a show is kind of interesting. But, I mean, most people were because it was Aquabats. They brought their kids. I mean, there were a couple of dads tossing back a couple of Coors Lights.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was definitely a different feeling. But, yeah, I mean, what I took away, even the Aquabats during their set, they did a couple, like, twice in the set. He didn't get all political about it. But he basically was saying, you know, times like these, the way crazy the world is, the only way we can fix it is if we all just get together and dance.
Yeah.
You know?
And people did.
People did.
I saw people skanking.
Yeah.
I didn't skank.
I saw like a 45-year-old man
just skanking his heart out, man. And good on him. Yeah. Good on him for skanking his heart out.
Maybe that's the only thing maybe that's the thing that could change the world. I'm not saying, but maybe we all just skank together. Maybe like Hands Around America, the Coke thing.
Right.
Skank Around America.
Yeah, suspenders around America.
Yeah.
Speaking of dad bods, I started on Monday, recording this episode on a Wednesday evening. I guess technically Sunday night, I started the ketogenic diet.
Once again.
When
was the last time you did this?
Probably about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because I was on that keto diet right before I changed jobs. And I've been at my job for just at 3 years.
Okay.
So I'd say, 3 years ago is about right. And the first time I did it, things were a lot different. Like I was a little round. I wanted to lose some weight. I heard of this. It was all new. All this information was fresh. So I did it for about 8 months and I lost like 35 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't huge or anything, but I was just a little soft around the edges.
Sure.
I wanted to lighten up a little bit. and I lost a shitload of weight. Like, I lost so much that my own sister was like, you sick? Do we need to talk?
It's always weird when that happens. Like, because it's not like you weren't like unhealthily like fat, but when you lose that much weight that kind of quickly, people kind of assume things. Like when I lost a bunch of weight, I got it all the time. Like, eat a cheeseburger. I'm like, dude,
I'm trying not to die.
You were used to seeing me bloated and like eating shitty food and drinking and smoking weed and eating more shitty food. Now that I'm not that, yeah, it's drastic. It looks drastic because you're used to seeing me at this.
Right.
But this is normal. This is a normal size. You know what I mean?
It's like, do you realize that it hurts to sit?
Yeah.
Like when your belly's big and it hurts just to sit because everything's all folded up.
When I have to refold my underwear flaps back up because my belly keeps pushing it down.
So I'm doing it again. This time it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought it would be easy. I thought it would be easier this time. Well, I mean, it was only 3 years ago, but
3 years makes a lot different.
That's true. It's a lot harder. So Kate and I are doing it together. And as much as I love my girl, she's a snacker.
Yeah.
She loves to snack. And she's fit. She's skinny.
Isn't it kind of hard to snack on the keto?
It's hard because there's not a lot of keto snacks. Unless you're talking like, hey, I can eat a few pieces of bacon.
You can't have peanuts or anything like that? No nuts?
You can have a few like almonds.
Like a fistful of nuts? Maybe?
Yeah, but that's not really a snack.
No.
I mean, that ain't going to stick to the ribs.
That just makes you want to eat more.
So I started Sunday night, and this is day 3.5. And I got what they call the keto flu, where you just felt drained and crappy. Your body's adjusting to no sugar, no carbs, very minimal of either.
Right.
And man, I just felt like ass yesterday.
Yeah.
Today I felt a lot better. It's funny though, because Kate was like, I feel great.
She hasn't got it yet.
No, and she might dodge it. It's kind of a roll of the dice, if you will.
Know.
But yeah, I'm kind of already over it. Like a friend at work today, I share an office with a buddy of mine at work, and he, at lunchtime, he brought some leftovers in that he had just warmed up and brought them into the office and was sitting over at his desk eating Mexican food leftovers. And dude, it was just the smell of grilled meat and onions and a warm tortilla.
Dude.
And he was drinking a cherry Coke. And I was just like, fuck keto. Oh, I can't do this. I'm going to stick with it.
There's nothing that smells better when you're at a Mexican restaurant. Maybe it's part of the reason why I love Mexican food so much is the experience of going to a Mexican restaurant, and it never fails. You sit at your little booth. I'm a booth man. Nary a table for me. And the waitress walks by to go to another table with fajitas, and you hear that sizzle, and you smell it, and you're like, oh,
dude, there's nothing like hearing the sizzle.
Ah.
And you know what? It never fails because I'll get like I love a smothered, God damn it. I love a smothered burrito. I'm so hungry, Josh.
A wet burrito, yeah.
I love a wet burrito. I love like street tacos. Yeah. I love a chimichanga, man, a deep fried burrito. But it never fails when somebody walks by with that sizzle, or when you know that sizzle's going to another table, you get jealous. Like, why didn't I sizzle?
Fucking got the
Why didn't I sizzle? That should be my sizzle.
Okay, when you were growing up, so we had our dads on the podcast a few episodes back, and they spoke a lot of having a family and being kind of frugal when you go out to eat. What was the quote?
When you got 3 kids, frugal's a good thing, or frugal sounds good, or something. What was it?
Reasonable. Reasonable sounds pretty good.
That's right.
So I grew up, I don't know if you did, with thinking that fajitas were the fucking filet mignon of Mexican food.
Totally.
Like, they're so expensive.
I didn't have a fajita until I was 17.
No, until I bought it myself.
I had he'll have the bean and cheese burrito.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could have got that at Taco Bell.
I could have made that at home. You know that like meme going around like, we got that at home. I literally have that at home.
Yeah. I got tortillas, beans, and cheese.
A fucking 80-cent can of beans. You know I got some shredded cheese in that fridge.
I got a microwave to pop that shit right in there.
And you know I got some stale tortillas that if you put a little water on them, put them in the microwave.
Well, half-life, bring them back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up thinking that just fajitas were so fucking expensive. And then you look at them, like, they're 12. Just get the goddamn fajitas.
It's like, at most Mexican restaurants, the fajitas are $2 more than an entree.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, it's $2.
You know what you're paying for? That $2 is to get that sizzle.
Yeah, you're paying for the experience.
Yeah.
The $2 experience.
It's the only plate they have that a show happens with it.
It's the only plate they have that comes with a wooden plate underneath it.
And then they sit it down in front of you like it's a fucking, like it's gold.
And why is it no matter what they bring out, they're always like, it's a hot plate.
No shit.
They could, yeah, yeah. I see it boiling.
You mean that we're just going,
Yeah.
the sizzle? That's hot?
Sizzle
That's
hot?
That's not a cold sizzle?
Yeah, a cold sizzle. Man, I love a good cold sizzle. Does anything sizzle because it's cold?
No.
Okay. They bring out ice cream for your birthday. Hot plate. Don't touch that. They get the rag out and they like turn the plate with the rag.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that sizzle, man. The cool thing about keto though is it's kind of a lazy diet, meaning you can kind of eat like a pig. You
just can't. You can eat as much as you want, right?
Yeah, you can. And the first time I did it, dude, I went hard.
You went whole hog, no pun intended.
I did. I was eating steaks every night. It's a very expensive diet.
Oh yeah.
Comparatively. But the first time I did it, I was grilling steaks. I would grill like 6 steaks at a time. And I was eating steak every night with a side of steamed broccoli with a bunch of shredded cheese on top and some Frank's Red Hot, to make it edible.
Sure. Give it some flavor.
Yeah.
You can't have potatoes, right?
No potatoes.
But you can have you ever had mashed cauliflower?
I'm going to.
Dude.
Yeah, I haven't had it. I made some sort of cauliflower thing last time. It was like a cauliflower noodles maybe or something. I don't remember, but it was pretty good.
Dude, mashed cauliflower, if you make it correctly, you would swear to God you're eating mashed potatoes.
So last night I wake up and it's like 2 a.m. I wake up, I'm starving. I've been hungry for 3 days straight. And what do you usually do when you're bored and hungry?
You snack. Grab a bag of chips.
You pop up some popcorn. You know how much I love buttered popcorn? Buttered popcorn is like one of the best snacks of all time. I could eat a whole bag of it.
Here's the thing, though. You say that as if you snack on popcorn regularly.
I do eat a lot of popcorn.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that I only eat popcorn when I go to the movies.
Oh, no.
I love to overpay for my popcorn.
Right. I love to spend $8 on kernels and butter.
That cost them maybe each bag. Each time they make me that probably cost them maybe $1.
Less than that, dude. I'm thinking
25
a quarter.
Cents?
Yeah.
$8.
Maybe 50 cents.
Now they don't even let you do the fucking butter on your own.
It's bullshit.
Fuck them.
Release the butter.
I'll get some popcorn next time I go to the movies, though.
I
Anywho, so you...
So here I am.
2 a.m. Hungry.
2 a.m. Walk out of the bedroom, shirt off, basketball shorts, just like rubbing my belly. Like, oh, you got to eat something. And I go to the kitchen and, I'm like half asleep.
Sure.
I pull out a huge, it must have been a 2-pound bag of pepperoni. You saw that bag.
Oh, I did. It's a plastic bag, just a bag of pepperonis.
It's just a sack of pepperoni.
That's a hefty ass sack.
And here I am at 2 a.m. just shoving pepperonis in my mouth.
Straight from the bag?
Straight from the bag, greasy fingers and all. And it's good.
Sure.
But it's like, dude, I miss bread.
Did that not were you able to go back to sleep after that?
I'm fine. There's no caffeine in pepperonis.
No, it would have gotten heartburn and shit. Oh, right.
No, I didn't.
Now, can I ask you a question? Uh-huh. Were you eating these just single slice at a time? Or
about 4 or 5 at a time.
Stacking those bitches?
Yeah, I was eating them like they were hunks of steak, Some steakums, dog. I did the pepperoni. I went to Walmart. Kate and I decided we're going to start keto this week. We would both like to lose a few lbs and just feel better, because one of the benefits of a keto diet is you feel better.
Well, because you're knocking carbs and sugar out of your diet.
Yep. So your body is burning the fat in your stomach or in your fat cells, rather than just constantly burning carbs and sugar. And that hence the keto flu, because your body's like, wait, where am I pulling this from? Oh, your body. And then it drains you for a little while till you get back up to speed. I went to the grocery store on Sunday. So Kate was like, hey, should one of us go and the other one stay home? So it's easier, stay home with the kid. I was like, tell you what, I'll go. Had something very important to do on Sunday, which we did. We'll talk about that soon. And then I came home. I was tired. I was very tired. Wore out. So I was like, I'll go. So I We made a list. And do you know how to make a list?
But you got to check it twice.
Well, that's only one person does that.
He finds out if you're naughty or nice.
One person. The other night I was mansplaining. I totally got busted mansplaining. I know I don't believe in that, but is this whole podcast is a boy-splain. I was boy-splaining.
Yeah, but they choose it.
I tell you what,
you choose to.
We're gonna do a mini episode right now. It's called "We're Not Gonna Mansplain." Ready? Boring. Anyways,
so here's the list: is one or the other jots the list down.
One person's digging through the cupboard.
Yeah. What do we need?
Yeah.
But what happens with me is Diana will tell me, my wife, things that we need, and I'll just forget because I'm a dumb white man and I forget everything.
Right.
So I'll tell her, hey, just text me a list. It's way easier that way.
That's
and that
a good
way,
idea.
If when I get to the store, if you need anything else, hit me again. Text me something else.
I'm notorious for doing that too, because a lot of times Kate will run to the store. She likes to go to the store because I'm a cheap ass and I'll always get like the great value of anything.
Oh yeah.
Whereas she gets like the top shelf.
Yeah, the creme de la creme of Walmart goods.
And I'm like, it's all the same, but it's really not.
No,
I'm just cheap.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's a great. I'm always doing that to her. Like if she goes, be like, hey, could you pick me up this and this and this while you're there? But you don't want to push it too hard. You're like, I'm like a 3 things max.
Oh yeah. You don't want to. If you're tacking on something, if you send someone out for people, listen up. If you send someone out on a mission to go get groceries or something, or a beer run or whatever, if you need anything else, limit it to 3. If you ask more than 3 things, that person is
an asshole.
Well, no, the person who's getting the stuff for you is obligated to that point to go, nope.
Right. And then they might turn it around and you not get any of it.
Yeah, and they go, oh, I'm sorry, I got it later. I got your text later. I didn't notice.
Then you're just screwed.
Yeah.
So I go to the grocery store, get a bunch of stuff, and I'm buying like bulk, because that's the thing about keto. You have to eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
You have to eat a lot of cheese. You eat a lot of eggs. You eat a lot of certain produce. Can't really do a lot of fruit, but you can do like a ton of avocado. Sure. You know, the good kind of fat. Yeah, a ton of spinach, things like that.
Kale.
I didn't do kale this time, but you can do kale.
Are you a kale friend? Do you like kale?
I just eat spinach. I'm a spinach man.
Like Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah, they call me Robbie Popeye the Sailor Man. They don't.
No one calls you that.
Anyways, I go up to the register. Take a guess how much this trip costs.
Okay. Mostly steaks.
Okay. So I got steak, pork chops, big bag of chicken breast.
Sure.
The biggest thing of bacon I've ever seen.
Sure.
I did have to get stuff for the little one. She eats certain things during the week when she goes to daycare.
Well, I'm not a meat eater. We haven't bought meat in our household in a very long time. I feel bad because my wife eats meat, but we don't make it at home. Like if we go out, she'll get it, but she never makes it at home. So
that means she loves you. If she like,
I know, that's so awesome. That's so awesome that she does that. Yeah. But she likes doing it because it kind of, she likes cooking food, so it's a different ways of making things.
Totally.
She's like way into doing that kind of stuff. So last time I was a meat eater and went meat shopping, I mean the prices were through the GD roof.
Oh yeah.
So meat's really expensive.
They haven't gone down.
They have not gone down. So I'm going to assume for how many weeks worth of meat are we talking?
I mean like maybe 2. I'm
going to say like 150 for the meats.
Oh, just the meats or for everything?
No, for everything.
For
I mean, like
$150?
Yeah, because what's meat like $4.50 a pound or whatever nowadays?
It depends on the cut, my friend.
I guess that's true. I never understood the cuts.
I go to the register and I check out. $240.
Gee, and that's at Walmart, dude.
At Walmart.
Could you imagine if you went to like anywhere else?
Uptown or
Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Or...
What's that other one? Whole Foods?
Dude, Whole Foods, that would cost you about $600.
Yeah, it would have been crazy. But the bright side is I did get a bunch of stuff.
You're stocked.
We're stocked for a couple weeks.
Set.
I've been bringing my lunch to work every day because the other thing about the keto diet is can't really eat out a lot.
Yeah, you got your choices are a steakhouse, maybe a Chipotle bowl.
Yeah. I'm having a not a cheat meal, but I'm going to Chipotle tomorrow.
I've been to Chipotle 2 days in a row for lunch.
You have.
Dude.
I heard that you went to Chipotle today, and I was like, that fucking traitor. We're supposed to go tomorrow.
That's okay. So a buddy was like, hey, do you want to go to lunch today? I was like, sure, man. Like, where do you want to go? I was like, you know what? You're driving. Wherever you want to go. You want to go to Chipotle? And I wanted to be like, well, I went there yesterday, but I want to be that guy.
You totally could have, though.
I was like, well, I went there yesterday. Maybe I can go somewhere else. Went again, got the same damn thing.
Are you going to go with me tomorrow?
I'll go with you tomorrow, and guess what I'm going to get?
The same thing.
The same damn thing.
You like what you like.
Creature of habit.
Yeah. Yeah, $240,
That's a
dude.
lot of money.
Now, granted, Kate gave me some money. We split most things.
Think about it this way, though. Last time you did it, you were doing it on your own.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you a single man?
No.
Or you were married?
I was married.
Okay.
But my partner at the time did not, with me.
So there was not a child in the household.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have, you're shopping for 3 people.
Right.
That's a lot.
And, it makes sense.
Sure.
But yeah, I made some steaks one night. I'm a big fan of the lettuce wrap bacon cheeseburgers.
Dude.
You can have a dope-ass bacon cheeseburger just with no bun.
You told me about that. And man, I went through a lettuce wrap phase for probably a good solid 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Where I would make like burger lettuce wraps, or my favorite. Have you ever been to a place called, not China House, Jesus, what's it called? On Classen Boulevard, Grand House, Chinese restaurant?
Yeah.
Their lettuce wraps are the fucking best things I've ever eaten in my life.
They are very good.
So I went through a phase like, I'm just going to make these every fucking day. And at the time I wasn't vegetarian, so you basically grill chicken, like chop it up like fine and make like a little mix. And you put that shit in there and top it with some kind of a topping.
Yeah. Good shit.
Oh my God. And it's crunchy. And you don't feel like a fat piece of shit when you're done because you're not getting all that bread in you.
But I'll tell you this.
Not the fat shame.
A lettuce wrap bacon cheeseburger is so messy. Because I got my big, I got my big piece of lettuce.
The bowl.
To wrap it in. Yeah, to
like
wrap it in. Then I got my hamburger patty. I got some cheese.
Yeah.
I got just a little bit of tomato. Can't have too much tomato. And I've got some pickles.
Mm-hmm.
I got some mustard. Got some bacon.
Yeah.
You're eating that thing, and it's so messy, and it just falls apart because, like, lettuce isn't bread.
No, it's wet.
Yeah. Yes. So it's slippery.
Dude, do you double?
I double
bind?
lettuce.
Yeah, double lettuce.
I double lettuce. I kind of make a little lettuce diaper. Almost like you're like changing a cloth diaper on a baby.
Sure.
So good, though. And yeah, like I eat 2 of them for lunch, and that's the thing about keto, like you said.
That's a lot.
You can eat a lot. You just can't eat.
Because you're not eating bread.
Right. I can kill 2.
Which is a filler.
Totally, dude. Because I can eat 2 of those, and I get pretty full, but I don't feel all bloated like I do with a big like a Johnny's hamburger or something like that.
Oh, those are so fucking good.
Oh, dude, I miss bread.
Well, the first time I went on this keto diet, I mean, around that time, I think Joe Rogan was talking about it. He was big on it at that point in time too, and it was kind of like it was becoming this like diet craze kind of while you were doing it. I was like, I want to do that shit. So I spoke to a nutritionist, and they informed me, no fucking way.
Really?
As a vegetarian, it's like deadly for a vegetarian to do that shit.
You just don't have very many options, to be honest. 'Cause
0 options.
You're trying to eat all the fat from meat, and if you don't eat meat, where are you getting that fat from? Where are you getting that protein from?
Yeah, I mean, I can get protein from like mushrooms and beans and things like that, but you're limited on, you can't eat any of that shit when you're on keto.
Yeah, you can't have no beans for sure.
Yeah.
You can have a little bit of mushroom, but not enough to like sustain yourself.
Sure. I mean, there's ways to find protein, but you have to eat, because if you have to eat a lot of meat to get what you need, me trying to find the amount of protein I would need other places, I would just be loading up and just probably just farting everywhere.
Well, that's the other thing, man. I've only been on this diet for like 3.5 days. The farts are real.
Yeah,
they're so
keto
real.
Farts, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and I hate to sound so blue, but the poops are real. Because, you're not just pooping out bread all the time. You're not leaving a trail of breadcrumbs behind you. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Crazy, man.
Hey, pull that up.
Speaking of Rogan, crazy, man.
It's crazy.
Still working on that one.
Yeah.
So, you done the FaceApp yet?
No, I've been seeing that around everywhere. Okay, Robbie.
It came out of nowhere.
It did. Here's a little something about me. I went through a real conspiracy theorist phase for a while. I mean, I believed hook, line, and sinker everything this man told me. And then I kind of fell out of it, but there's still a part of me. anytime there's something, they do them all the time, like the filters on name that app. There's always some sort of thing that has to do with taking a picture of your face, putting it out there.
Yeah.
And you've informed me, Josh, they've got your face. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to deliberately give it to him. But this FaceApp where it ages you. Now, they've done this before. This was a thing before. It may have been through, what's that app? Snapchat.
Yeah.
But it was really shitty quality.
Right.
This one is photo fucking realistic.
Well,
it's been creeping me out.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, like 2 days ago, maybe, like every single person I know that I'm follow on Instagram is posting this.
Yeah. I mean, you could take a picture at a bad angle and it looks really shitty. But if you do it at a good angle
With some good lighting.
Dude, I've seen a few where I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And I've like zoomed in on it to like try to find flaws. Hard to do.
It's perfect, man.
It's great.
Kate downloaded it and she did me and she did it herself. My lighting wasn't great, so it didn't look as good as some of the other ones, but it still looked pretty good. I saw this comedian I really like, Johnny Pemberton. He did it where he took a picture and he ran it through the filter. And then he ran that picture through the filter and did it over and over and over again until he basically looked like a nutsack. It was, but here's the thing.
Like Thanos' chin.
Yes, he looked so old. Like, you ever seen that? You ever seen like a headline on like Reddit or something? Like, woman lives to be 140.
Yeah, and just like bags on bags on bags on bags. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. But it still had that good quality to it. It was fucking scary, dude.
Creepy. Well, my thing is, think about this. Another thing that just has been popping up, deep fakes.
Right.
So
they're harvesting data for deep fakes.
That's what I think.
Possibly.
It's a possibility. Well, you're also getting the Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
So you heard about the thing with the Epstein shit. They found Anthony Weiner. Not to get political, but I just want to sidetrack because it kind of fits. Anthony Weiner's laptop, there's allegedly a video of Hillary Clinton and Anthony Weiner's wife
69ing.
Killing a kid.
Really?
Yeah. And the theory is that with all the deep fake stuff is popping up, so now they can go, oh, that's a deep fake.
Right.
But the deep fake shit's gotten, when that first came out, it was kind of janky, and now it's fucking really good.
Yeah.
Which is, it's cool that you can make weird things, but it's scary as fuck because, let's go on the flip side, let's not even go creepy celebrities murdering people. Let's just go a public figure saying some shit to the public that's not real, and everyone just buys it. It's creepy. It's creepy. But people looking old is funny.
Totally. And, you know, do I think that the owners of the FaceApp, I think it's called, are they running this? Are they orchestrating some dark thing? No, but doesn't mean somebody else might not.
That's true. It's scary. All this technology we have is great. It's awesome that we can do all this kind of shit. But man, you just got to think about what are the implications if it gets in the wrong hands.
Totally, man. Like, speaking of getting into the wrong hands, you know, we talk about Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
We talk about Instagram a lot. And I'm big, I've said it many times on the show before, I'm a big fan of the Explore tab on the Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
If that's what it's still called, the Explore tab.
The magnifying glass.
Yeah. Where you just like look at stuff and, you know, it reads your searches and your likes and it's like a tailored feed. Like mine is a lot of guitars.
Dude, mine's Blink 182 and guitars and Green Day for some reason. I don't even look at Green Day shit.
See, I don't look at Green Day either, but maybe it's lumped in.
Maybe it's lumped with the Blink thing, but yeah.
Mine's a lot of butts, a lot of like thoughts. Is that what the kids call them? Thoughts?
Is that still
dummy thick thoughts?
Dummy thick thoughts.
You love that term, don't you?
I just think it's ridiculous. But I looked up the Urban Dictionary term and I laughed out loud. I literally LOL'd when I read it. It said, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Pull up the Urban Dictionary.
Well, let me go back to my story here. I'm in the Instagram Explore feed. And there's a lot of like good looking women in my Instagram Explore feed, some of which I'm a fan of, and I'll go and creep their page every once in a while. Just having a look, you know, just like if you saw a nice pair of Jordans that you might want, or a nice new drum set or guitar or something. So I click on this one photo and it's this like beautiful woman holding a plate of chicken wings. And turns out that it's the Instagram account at Hooters iDrive. I don't know what iDrive is. Maybe it's the street that it's on, but this Instagram is a Hooters run Instagram, like for a location, right?
Okay.
So I look at the picture. It's like a beautiful woman with, she's well endowed.
She's dummy thick.
She's dummy thick, yes. And she's holding a plate of chicken wings. And so I'm like, man, I'm going to read the comments and see like what kind of depravity is in the comments, And I'm scrolling and it's all these like, oh, you're beautiful. Oh,
was it one of those that had like thousands of comments?
Hundreds, yeah.
Okay.
And it was a lot of like, I'd eat that, wink, and like, just like whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then I scroll to the bottom. And there's this comment by this guy, and I'm gonna call him out. We're in this call out culture. I got to do my civic duty here.
Do your duty.
At Steve Johnson 1066. He's one of the last comments, and he says, "Wow, you're beautiful, or you're smoking hot. Do you have a girlfriend, or do you have a boyfriend/husband?" And I'm just like, man, that's kind of desperate. That's really weird.
Yeah.
So then a couple days later, I'm on the toilet. I'm on the Explore tab. I'm looking. I see another Hooters waitress. So I click it, and I'm like, oh, she's pretty. That food looks delicious. That's a nice cold beer she's holding. Go to the comments. Scroll down. Hi, you're beautiful. Do you have a boyfriend/husband? Oh, and he signs his name after every comment. He's like, space, dash, space, Steve Johnson. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to see something.
Did you go to his page?
No, I didn't. But I went to the Hooters iDrive Instagram account, and I started from the most recent photo, clicked it, scrolled down the comments. There he is. Same exact comment. Then I scrolled to one that was two girls. Hi, you are both very beautiful. Do either of you have boyfriends/husbands? Steve Johnson. Dude, he did it to every photo on this account.
Is it a bot, you think? Or do you think it's an actual person?
No, because he's tailoring it. Like if it's three girls, he'll be like, the three of you look beautiful. Every single post, dude. And I can't fault a man for fishing. We all fish. Maybe he's just learning how to tangle.
Oh, I just looked at his Instagram. It's private.
But the picture says enough.
Picture says plenty. The amount of followers he has compared to the things he's following.
What's our follower count?
Well, he has no posts.
Right.
So
he's just there to comment.
Just there to comment. He's got 75 followers, 818 following.
Yep. He's just fishing, man. He's fishing.
Fishing for a lady?
Well, yeah, or maybe more than one. Like I said, I can't fault the guy for fishing. But I just thought, man, like, change up your lingo. Like, you got to be a little more smooth.
Yeah, man, like, you can't be, as a former pro tangler, you can't use the same line on every girl. And this is a different time, different culture back in the day.
It cheapens it if you do that.
Yeah, the pickup artist, we would tell you, got to believe a guy with a shaved head and goggles on his head.
Right. But, a steampunk / velvet wearing dude.
By the way,
that shit was garbage.
It was garbage, and I have no idea why. A, he had a show. 2, he wrote a book. 3, why he thought he can get any kind of woman whatsoever.
Total dork.
And I'll tell you that guy right now, he's one of these, I guarantee you, he's a, what do you call those guys? Incel.
You think?
He's probably an incel.
Blaming women.
Dude, I tried. You don't like my trench coat? I don't know what that fucking accent is.
Do you think that guy ever truly got laid?
No, I think it was a gimmick to sell books.
What was his one thing he would always say? Something about like negging?
His name was Mystery, right?
Yes, with a Y.
Yeah.
Where is he now? Where is Mystery?
Where is Mystery?
But I think one of his methods was called negging, where he'd like talk down to the
treat
girl.
them like shit to tell them that it makes them, shows them that you don't need them. So you neg them and like, oh.
Well, here's the deal, man.
Ridiculous.
I'm not woke.
No.
I'm not an SJW, but that shit is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
That's just common sense.
Yeah, don't.
Like, A, obviously that would not fly these days.
Sure.
B, how did it ever fly? I get that we evolve as a society.
Sure.
But how was that ever on TV? He got paid.
A lot.
It's disgusting,
to teach
dude.
nerds how to be assholes to women to make them like them.
Yes. I'm going to pull up a clip on YouTube and watch it just to cringe.
Oh,
like just to see how bad it really was, because I remember it. I remember watching it and cringing back then. Mm-hmm. It hasn't aged well, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
It couldn't have aged well.
I remember feeling really bad for both the nerdy guys and the women that had to be subjected to it. Because what they would do is they would get these nerdy guys, and then they would get these pretty girls in and like teach them how to talk to them and stuff. And I distinctly remember this nerdy guy was sweating and you could see the panic attack in his face. He's like, dude, poor guy. All you really got to do, man, just find a nerdy girl.
Totally.
This doesn't match. Just find someone who's you, dude.
I call it stay in your lane.
Gotta stay in your lane.
And it's kind of an old adage that like you usually see like a normal or maybe slightly frumpy looking dude with like a way hotter girl, because girls aren't as shallow and surface level as guys are. But like, here's the deal. I know my place in the world. I am very lucky to have a very beautiful girlfriend. But I know I got lucky. Like I'm never like shot way out of my league. Have you? Let me put it this way. I've never expected a 10 to be with this 7.
No.
6.5 maybe.
When I was around 21, I was living down in the old Tejas, and this smoke show messaged me on MySpace, and I was like, okay, this is like probably a bot or whatever. Right. And went to go meet her, and I was like, this is going to be a dude. It's not going to be, no, total really hot chick. She was cool, wanted to hang out. We hung out, had a couple of beers, and then I went to a show with her, and she was into me. Like, we made out. I'm like, there's no fuck. This is not going to happen. This is just not a thing.
Were you pinching your little cheeks?
Dude, I was nervous. I was so nervous. We smoked weed at her house, which was probably a dumb move, which made me more paranoid.
Right.
I'm like, this is, what is this a joke? Is she, because I met her friends before that. I'm wondering if I still to this day think that maybe that it was a part of a joke. Like,
no, man. Well, again, she just wasn't as surface level as we men are.
Not, but then I didn't perform, and then I never heard from her again.
Oh, yeah. You're really fucked up, Josh.
I was so nervous that I just kept drinking and like got back to her place, and man, it just wasn't happening.
Wait. Was it going to be go time?
It was 100%. Do you want to hear how much go time this was?
Sure.
We get back to her
Tell
place.
me all the horny
She's
details.
got a 4-post bed. It's from a fucking movie. 4-post bed with like the netting around it, like the whatever you call that.
Was there a halo hanging from the corner of it?
No, because I think someone else used it for the weekend.
Or a one-night stand?
Oh,
okay, great.
And this is what this was. So,
continue.
So I'm a little high, very much drunk, and we're making out. She went to the bathroom to slip into something more comfortable.
Classic
so stereotype.
Move. Classic move.
Came out in this like, just imagine just the naughtiest lingerie.
Okay.
Came out in that. I'm like, oh boy. And I'm going to go, oh, this is real. This is going to happen. And then making out, doing stuff. And then he's just not happening.
Couldn't stand the attention.
Couldn't.
How drunk were you?
I think it was, not so drunk that I can remember it, but it was like, it was a lot of nerves. Like, again, this girl was super out of my league, way out of my league. And I think it was like a lot of mental.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then she was like, no, it's okay. I'm like, and in my head I go, no, it's not.
Right.
It's not. I'm going to go home now. And then she never talked to me again. And maybe that was her being like, oh, okay.
You shit the bed.
I literally shit the bed.
Literally? Did you literally shit the bed?
No.
Figuratively?
I figuratively shit the bed. And that
metaphorically.
Was like, but yeah, that was my 110 story of like, dude. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was God being like, hey, dude, stay in your fucking lane, bro. Yeah. This is going to be good.
He just like reaches over and like puts on your blinker.
He's like,
stay in your slow lane.
Stay in your slow lane.
It's all right.
She's better than you.
But hey, we all know beauty's on the inside.
It sure is.
Chris D'Elia had an awesome clip that
I
he
saw
posted
that.
where he's like staring at the camera like very maniacally.
He's like, but we all know beauty's on the inside, right? That's all that matters, right? It's not about your outside, right? Like, it's like the greatest thing.
It was perfect. And I'm no like disciple of Chris D'Elia, but I do like him.
Are you you're not a baby?
I wouldn't say I'm a baby.
I don't understand what that is, but it's okay.
Just part of his cult.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of a cult.
He does. And maybe someday we will too.
Hopefully.
But we're going to wrap it up, man.
Oh, we got to wrap her down?
You got any final thoughts?
No, I'm just kind of...
No, I don't.
No. Okay, I've wanted to talk about this for a while because it happened Well, I was at work the other day. I was on a break, driving down the road, and we're at a stoplight, and it's kind of backed up at a light. You know, and you're like 5-6 cars behind the light.
Okay.
And just next to us, stopped a little bit in front of us, where we're next to the car.
Okay.
The car's windows are tinted black, can't see shit. All of a sudden, the passenger door swings open. A lady gets out, flips the guy off, starts cussing, slams the door, walks into the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy next to me, I go, we just witnessed something great.
Right.
Like, have you ever witnessed anything like that? Like crazy public freakouts?
I saw a woman, gosh, I must have been 12 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were, again, kind of stuck in traffic at a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
And a woman jumps out of the car, drops her pants, and just pisses all over the sidewalk right in front of like probably 30 people, 30 people.
This is midday.
Middle of the day, I saw where the sun don't shine. I saw it all. And
Did she have to walk through cars to get to it?
No, she was on the slow lane. We were in the left
okay.
lane, but we were both at a stoplight. There were a few cars in front of both of us. There were tons of cars behind us. Got out, ran over to the sidewalk, dropped trow, and just took a horse piss all over the sidewalk. And I was just like, listen, I've had to piss so bad where you get home and you like run in the house. You might leave your keys in the door.
Sure.
Run to the bathroom. As soon as it comes out, you start peeing.
Yeah,
I've done that 100 times,
yeah.
but I've never pissed in public like that.
No.
Luckily, us guys have it easy where if that was me, I would have opened the car door and then you just piss down in the corner, like in the angle there.
Yeah.
So you're still hiding your dong. Now the driver might see your dong. Who cares?
Yeah.
But you're not showing everybody your hoo-ha.
Yeah, a girl can't do that. Or we can do the piss in a Gatorade bottle or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
I've done that a lot.
I've told the story on the podcast before, but it's still fucking hilarious. So we were going to the fair, and we go to that 7-Eleven on May 10th, and midday, parked in the front to get cash out for the fair, and I'm just sitting in the car. It's me and maybe someone in the back seat, and just a woman sitting in front of a dumpster, squatting, taking a shit outside, middle of the day, probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, just shitting. She looked like maybe she had a couple of beverages.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe she was on day 3 of just a bender.
Okay.
But my thought was like, I'm just staring at it and just like, wow. Where are you at in life where you think that it's okay to get out of your car and just piss on the sidewalk?
I know,
or just
dude.
drop trout and shit in front of a dumpster at a 7-Eleven.
That's insane to me.
Or storm out of a car and walk 3 lanes through cars to get... Now, I have been that person to get out of a car before.
You have? I've never angrily got out of a car.
Well, apparently you've never been in a very toxic relationship.
No, not that toxic.
No, it was like a lot of arguing, just fighting so much. It's like, we just want to get out, but you're stuck in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, stop the car, you get out. And you get out for a few minutes. And they do a lap, and you come back, and you get back in the car like, okay, can we be adults now?
Okay, yeah.
But it's still like, at the time, I mean, I know you're super young, but it's like, you're volatile, you're...
Totally.
But, it's just like, so next time you see anybody in public, it's like keep an eye on that. You'll get one. Everyone will get one.
Well, let me ask, did it go through your brain at all to be like, maybe I should help her? Or do you think she was safe as long as she was out of the car?
I think she was safe as long as she was out of the car. I think you could tell what it was. She wasn't in any danger. I think it was they had a heated argument.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't having it, and he just kept flapping his goddamn gums.
Right.
She was like, you know what?
Peace, I'm out.
I'm going to the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I'm going
to go take a shit.
I'm going to go take a shit. I'm going to call a friend. That's the beauty of now. Like when my situation happened, there was like cell phones were not really a thing.
Right.
So
walk into a payphone.
Walk into a payphone. Got to call a buddy or something.
Yeah.
But,
maybe you have to be paged.
Oh.
Dude, I kind of want a pager again. Is that weird?
Do they exist? Can you still get one?
You can still get a pager.
That's
And
crazy.
in fact, you can get them for very cheap. I think paging service these days is like $2 a month. But I was like, man...
Didn't it used to be like, it was like $19.99 a month for a pager?
I went to Lucky Paging in Midwest City. Yeah.
Classiest paging.
Classic. classic pager place.
Now, that was in the same shopping center as the Christie's Toy Box.
Yes, it was. And then later a head shop called Pipe Dreams.
And then Shooty's Pool Hall.
Yep. Yeah. I saw bands play at Shooty's.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we went together to that once or twice.
Yeah.
I remember going into those pager stores, and it was like magical.
Which
dude.
kind of, when I go to like a dispensary or like a vape shop, they're the same kind of a setup.
100%.
If Lucky Paging could have just stuck it out, they could have been Lucky Paging and Vapes or Lucky Vape Shop.
Or nowadays, like a CBD store.
Oh, I'm sure the owner of Lucky Paging probably now has a vape shop or a CBD store somewhere.
Totally. But man, there was something magical about the pager. Granted, because we didn't know anything better, nothing better existed at the time.
No cell phones, just pagers.
Now, did you have the pager, like the classic surgeon style pager, where it was just the little readout on the top, like on the skinny side?
Yeah.
Or did you have the front facing pager?
I had both.
Okay.
I had the shitty garage door opener.
Yeah.
But then I got the super cool one that came in like the belt clip.
Yep.
Clear.
You could
with
whip
like
that joker out and, hey, look, it's a number, and then it says 143 after it.
Yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 911.
I love you too.
911. But then they started getting the ones where you can do
The alphanumeric.
paging. Yeah.
I'm going to look into a pager.
Yeah.
Just to have. Like, I can spend $24 a year on a novelty pager.
You know what we should do?
Right?
We should get a pager for boys. And people can page us. Alphanumeric page us something.
Yeah, I like that. We need to set up a Google Voice number and like start a hotline.
That'd be awesome.
That would be. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If y'all are listening still, you made it this far in the episode, let us know via email, boys@boyspodcast.com. Hit us up on Instagram @boyspodcast.
DM us.
Twitter, Tweets of Boys, Facebook, Boys Podcast. Let us know if we were to put in the work to make a hotline, and maybe we ask the questions via the hotline, or you just called in with ideas. We can't really take live calls because we pre-record the show, but would a hotline be worth it?
I think so.
I think it could be fun.
Speaking of questions, so we asked.
Are we letting the cat out of the bag?
Well, we didn't technically do well, it's not funny you say cat. So we talked before on the last episode about, I really don't know how to word it without sounding gross. What animal would you like to fuck?
If you had to.
Oh, if you were, at gunpoint. If Hitler had your parents held at gunpoint, what animal would you fuck?
And oddly enough, we didn't get a ton of responses, but we did get a couple.
I have one in particular that I really liked. And it was a message saying, I just finished the episode. Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
Would an alien count?
I do know that they exist.
Aliens exist. I'll count it because it's not of this world. It's not human. So I guess.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it counts.
You don't think it counts?
No.
Is it too humanoid?
They don't have fur.
So that's stipulation. It can't be a bald animal.
They're more humanoid than...
Humanoid? More humanoid than humanoid.
I love that B-side. No, I'm going to go on the record and say I don't know if an alien exists. I think it's a great answer, but I don't know if an alien counts. So...
And that was from Speakeasy's own Henri.
Yes, thank you very much for the answer. Even though it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Thank you so much for taking the time to answer the question. We'll leave that question open one more week.
Yeah.
If you had to fuck an animal.
If Hitler had your parent. Classic scenario.
Classic.
Adolf Hitler from World War II fame.
No, not Adolf. Steve
Hitler.
Yeah.
Steve Hitler from down the block. If he had your parents at gunpoint, he goes, you got to fuck one of these animals. And it's every animal.
He's a Southern man.
He's a Southern man. I'll blow your parents' head off.
Coral. Fucking animal.
Coral.
All right, we'll leave the question open one more weekend. We might even try to figure out a way, because you asked me, it was funny, we used to post those questions on Sunday on Instagram, and you were like, should I ask that on our Instagram? And I was like,
it's a little risque.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's an in-episode ask.
I don't want to be put on the list. We bury it deep in the episode for a reason. But let us know if you had to pick an animal. Like I said last week, we'll keep you anonymous if you choose to be anonymous. We don't want any more sheep fuckers out there.
Hey.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bleh.